Hey, this is Shaggy, and I'm here popping up. You know how that go. Well, when you think about the brand Shaggy and how it has spanned over, 3 decades, if you think about just within yourself, there's a song that is the soundtrack of your life for almost every single decade, and what's unique about that is that there are people that still want to hear it and still want to get into it. So, the thing that keeps me going is the fact that these records are records that somehow still have a life. They still kind of get a life of their own. You look at something like It Wasn't Me, that it's the gift that keeps giving. For some reason, it's always, and that's because we make relatable records.
Oh, you pretty the woman access to your villa. Just for son of witness, all of your clean on your pillar. You better watch your back before she turn into a killer.
As far as HOTSHOT is concerned, I'm not worried about topping what HOTSHOT has done. I never did music for that reason anyway. I did music for the fact that it got me out of the ghettos and gave me opportunities. HOTSHOT was a massive album. It was the highlight of my career. But we had huge successes before that. We had Old Carolina, which was a global #1. We had Mr. Bombastic, that was also a global #1. And then of course HOTSHOT came with Angel and It Wasn't Me. But we have since then had big records also. You had I Need Your Love, that was a big record. We had A Sexy Lady, that was a big record after that. Recently we had like Godonde, Banana was 2 billion streams recently, and that was within within the pandemic. So just based on that, I'm just being an artist. I'm not sitting here just trying to, oh no, let me tap that and not tap that. My creative process really comes from what inspires me. I go for the inspiration. People might see me use new artists every single time on, like for instance, in It Wasn't Me, I had somebody like a Rick Rock that was a new artist, an unknown artist. Somebody like Rayvon, who, Rayvon is a different situation because we kind of started together, but at that time, even after I had success, I still went back for Rayvon because I'm inspired by Rayvon's voice and the chemistry with it. On I Need Your Love, we had Mohambi and Fady, which are 2 unknown artists at the time. On Banana, there was Conquer, which is an unknown artist. And some of the artists, like on Godonde, I used Spice, which is a local, a local superstar within herself. She's by no means, on this really high, massive level. But the thing is why I use those people on these records, because I'm inspired by them. I pull from their energy, I pull from their creativity, And it keeps me relevant because, I could easily get caught up in my own little bubble, of Shaggy, whatever it is, because I made big hits and, why am I gonna listen to this person when this person never made a hit? But this person has something that triggers me and inspires me to come up with something that is greater, And that's my formula, is finding whatever it is that inspires me, because without the inspiration, I cannot even fathom finding anything great. And if I'm not gonna go for greatness when I'm doing it, it doesn't make sense I do it at all. I've learned a lot in this music business because it is ever changing. I think that's part of what is exciting about it, is that it keeps changing. I came from an era where it was vinyl. It's really hard to think about that, vinyl, and then it was cassette. Thank God I wasn't there for the 8-track, but I was there when it was vinyl, CDs. I show my daughter what a CD is, and they're like, "What is this?" They don't have a clue what it is, And now, then I went there to where it was downloads, It was ringtones first, and then it was downloads, and then from downloads, then it became streaming, where we are now. So I've seen the evolution of the music industry throughout my 3 decades of doing this. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And every time it changes, I want to be a part of this new change. I want to be a part of the excitement of it, And I'm fascinated with where music is right now. The fact that it used to take me 2 years for us to put an album out. Now you could put probably 4 albums out a year if you want. It used to, we would get these really bad deals from record companies where they'll give you an advance, they recoup the advance, but yet still they own the product. It's like a bank giving you money to buy a house, and as soon as you pay the loan off, they own the house. It's a bad deal. The only difference is with the bank, you're gonna pay interest, and with a record company, you didn't pay interest on that loan. That's the only difference. But now you could own the music you put out and control it. Now there's a direct, you used to have gatekeepers where they would literally, record company says, okay, we're gonna put this amount of money on this artist and not this artist because we feel it's this artist. And that's gatekeeping, they're spending money on this particular person. While at the end of the day, now you could be a straight target towards your audience, and that's hard for somebody like me who's from a whole different generation. That's why this collaboration with me and Lav, I look at it as a win-win situation on Move, because she's teaching me about the social media side of it and connecting with your audience side of it, which is very much a part of what music is today, and connecting with an audience while I'm teaching her about the craft of songwriting and making music and performing it and having a presence. So I think it's really a win-win situation, where we both learn from each other. And we spoke about the collaborations from before. If I'm not getting something from it, they say, use me or I have no use, and nobody wants to be useless. If you can't be used, you're a waste man. So at the end of the day, you gotta find somebody that you could use something from them and they could use something from you, and that's all we're here for. The Island Music Conference is a conference really put together to educate Caribbean artists. If you look at majority of Caribbean music, it's owned by other people other than ourselves. It's people. I remember back in the days, you used to have Chris Blackwell and Ken Berry. One would be in Skyline, the other would be a Pegasus, and they would sign reggae artists and their publishing and all of that for £2,000, if that much, and end up owning their rights and their works till perpetuity. And that word perpetuity shouldn't exist in any contract, in my opinion. And so the conference is about teaching these artists that you can control that, especially, back in my days, if I wanted to know something about publishing, I'd have to read this book called Everything You Want to Know About the Music Industry, or the music business, I think it was the title of it. Now you have a device that you pick up and you boom. Somebody could be telling you something about a deal, whether it be publishing, whether it be about splits, whether it be about syncs, and you could be fact checking that person as they speak. It's fascinating how that could happen, and all I'm trying to do is showing, through the conference, is show all of these artists how you could do that, how you could be on top of your game and not be taken advantage of. Make it be harder to take advantage of, because every artist that I know at some point has a story of being taken advantage of, whether by their managers or their business managers, or, it is easy because you come from nothing. You don't get those education. Nobody shows you that. And some of them, it's psychological. Some of these people will let the artists feel like they work for them. It's, oh, I'm the manager. You do what I say. I own you. No, the manager work for you. Simple thing like money. No manager should be controlling your money at all. They shouldn't pay the manager. That should go through your business management company that controls all of that, and they pay the manager. You know what I'm saying? It's a setup that is there, but we've never been taught that, and that's what this conference is about: is teaching that. And the sad part about it for me is, like, you got some kids that are in the garrison, in the ghettos, and those are the guys that I think need it the most. The people who ended up showing up at these are the people that, they're from good families and got both parents and shit, and, they got work ethics, and, they were raised and not dragged up, and the guys that are in the ghettos that they don't show up because, they were raised with grandmas and uncles and aunts, and they were dragged up. It wasn't even raised, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, so you don't get them going. But those people that's from the garrison, those are the people that make music that make you feel. Because everybody can make records these days. There's music you hear and music you feel. Sonically, everybody can sound good because of technology. It's not hard. I can make anybody sound good with the right technology. There's AI that's doing that for people right now. It's easy. But to make you feel the music, where you're relating to it and you feel the pain in that vocal, you know, and you feel that what they're saying is truthful, you get that mainly from an artist that comes from that struggle, you know, because that pain is being felt on the track when they do it. And so the person that is from the streets coming through that, will go through that pain, that struggle, is the person that will give you the best performance on any record. And so I aim for those people who have gone through struggles, you know, and pain, because there's an honesty that comes in on that recording that transcends to the audience when they listen. Surprising.
What is that thing that nobody knows about?
Maybe that I'm a G on the grill. You know, that's probably something surprising. Oh yeah, I got the green egg out, you know. My steaks are on point.
Any specialty dish?
My steaks are on point. Do I have a hidden talent that no one knows? Yeah, my art. I haven't done it in years though, but I'm a great cartoonist and great art. I used to paint. I use pastels. I use acrylic, oil. I got accepted to Pratt Institute for Art and Design. I won the Brooklyn Union Gas Competition 3 times for Erasmus Hall in art. And I was supposed to be this great artist, I was thinking about architecture at one point, and then I went into the militaries because I like guns. Back then. What's up for me next is, there's a lot going on, man. I move based on how inspired I am. You know, my manager's been pushing me to do a Shaggy album, and I have not been very inspired to do that. That's why you see me I'll go do a record with Spice, or, you know, I'll do Mood with Kess, or, you know, a Banana because I haven't put a full Shaggy album out in 5 years, you know. I did the Sinatra record, but that's kind of like a side project when that was really me and Sting together doing this really niche kind of a project with me singing Frank Sinatra songs in reggae, you know. It's just a unique thing. So right now I'm trying to get inspired enough to put together a full Shaggy album. You know, Lav is a big inspiration for that. You know, there are a couple other people. Spice is a big inspiration for that. You know, I got some great people that I'm collaborating production-wise, you know, Costi and Shane, Tony Kelly, and I'm also inspired by you know, some great writers, even though I'm kind of now feeling myself out to tap into a lot more of you know, the craft of songwriting it's a craft, it's there. And I could sit with these people who come with great ideas and apply the craft and make it something unique, you know? Because most artists, young artists, they might have that passion, they might have great ideas, but they'll make these songs that won't necessarily be classics or timeless, you know? They don't really live very long, you know, until you apply the craft of it, you know? And I've learned my craft from some of the greatest songwriters, from Burt Bacharach to the great Bob Marley, to people like, you know, Bob Andy, to you know, Paul Simon, you know, the great Sting himself, who's, you know, I'm close with, and I've applied those craft, Billy Joel, applied those craft to that passion that I might get, you know, but I've been tapping into more of tapping into my own passion to see how I could make it as truthful as possible with whatever it is that I'm writing next to come out. All right, we're good?
That's it.
All right, that was painful.
Sorry, man.